Thanks, Raj. And I would like to also, thank to the organizers of the Business Summit or Community Summit. And I'm really honored to be part of this session. And also would like to thank everyone who has voted for my session. I'm really honored. So let me share my agenda. So in this session, as you know, our next topic is like the conditional sales tax and VAT concept. What we will be basically seeing in this demo, and we will start with the concept of VAT, and then we will check what is conditional VAT and sales tax, and also we'll see the end-to-end demo of the functionality, and also we'll see the configurations. The reason I have kept the kept the demo first, because we'd like to relate what we are basically doing, and then again we will see the configuration, what basically happened with the configuration on how to achieve that result, and then we will do the short recap of the topic. I hope you will be this will be a very interesting session. And let me start with the VAT. So if you're from the finance background or functional background, I think you already know what is VAT. Like any organizations doing any business in any country, they are they need to maintain some legislation or laws in terms of VAT and reporting. Say suppose they are selling something to their customers, so they need to maintain or impose some VAT as per the localization or as per the country related laws. And if you are not from the finance background, that's not a problem. I will make you understand what basically we're trying to do, because this VAT is part of our life. Everything we are doing, we are paying the VAT. And if we are the organizations, then we are imposing the VAT. Or also when we are trying to when we are buying something from the companies or vendors, we are paying the VAT to them. So what happens after we impose the VAT the customer, and or we pay some VAT to the government? So what happens after that? When the transaction is happening, when the transaction takes place in the system or any ERP system or in Dynamics 365, then what we do in the month end, or as per the required quarter or quarterly or half yearly, we pay those VAT whatever we have taken from the customer, or whatever we pay to our vendors, we offset with those, and the rest of the amount we pay to the government. So that's how the normal VAT works. I hope you have understood as of now what is VAT if you're not from the finance background. However, say suppose in many countries in Europe, there are some laws where, say suppose some of the countries I can name, like Sweden, Finland, Norway, there are some laws. Even if the transaction has been happened in the Dynamics 65 or any software, until the payments are made, the VAT will not be reported to the government. So basically, this VAT reporting is dependent on the settlement. So VAT will only be reported to the government when the payments are made. However, if we talk about the standard VAT, whatever we make any transaction, that comes to our VAT report, and we need to pay or organization needs to pay those to the government. So how this conditional sales tax works? So conditional sales tax work. Let me now we will see this a short demonstration in system. Or before going to the system, I have prepared a decision tree to make it more interesting. So suppose this is a standard VAT concept where the transaction VAT, and when this takes place in the system, then we report to the that this VAT reporting to the government. This is a standard VAT concept. And when it comes to the conditional VAT concept, that this happens the transactional with VAT, transactions with VAT, be it a vendor or be it a customer, then we need to check our system or the legislation says, is there any payment received or not against that transactions? If yes, then only this VAT will be reported to the government. If not, then we will wait, or organization will wait. Those transaction or those VAT will not be reported to the government. When the transaction, when the payments are made against those transactions, then only this amount will be paid to the government. This is how the decision tree I tried to make you understand that that's how it will, how we basically the basic concept of this conditional sales tax or VAT. So without further delay, I will take you to the system. So in the interest of time, I will only show you the customer transactions, uh, and then I will make a payment. Before making a payment, we will try to see whether this has been reported to the reporting sales tax report or not. If not, how it will be reported, we will see. So yeah, in the interest of time, I will not make any sales order or pretext invoice. I will just make a general journal entry to check the sales tax. I will select a customer, and when you are doing this from the general journal entry, that doesn't mean it will not work for pretext invoice or sales order. It will definitely work. Whenever the transaction having VAT, that transaction will work with this concept. So now I will make like 100,000 ACK. Then I will take the revenue account, and I will take the item sales tax group and then sales tax group. Before I post this, I will check what is the sales tax amount of this. So I will see 12%, and actual sales tax amount is 10,714, and this will be payable to the government. Okay, so I'm making a transaction to customer. I will post this. So this has been posted with the VAT. This is the VAT. If I check the vouchers, I can see the sales tax, the customer balance, and the ledger journal. So this is the total customer balance. So in normal scenario, what happens when we report this? When you make a monthly report of this VAT comes with a picture. However, in this scenario, this will not be the case, because like we are discussing about the conditional VAT. Say suppose in Sweden and Finland or any countries which has this requirement, they will not report to the first instance until it is paid. So we will try to fetch this report, and we will see the April month report. We will click on OK. Now we will see that amount whatever has been posted, that will not come into this report. The reason is that has not been paid yet. So I will make it zoom out. So now you see nothing. This is, I have posted earlier. This is not that case. So this here, that 10,000 amount is not here in the monthly report. The reason is that has not been paid. So now what we will do, we will see, we will try to pay this amount by the customer payment journal. I will select this customer. I will settle these transactions. And this is the amount what we are going to pay. So now I will click on OK. I will select a bank. I will click on post. So our expected result as per the government, or as per the legislative law, as per the conditional sales tax policy, now we are paying, you have paid this amount. Now only this amount will be coming to the declaration report. Let's see. We will go to this report. Click OK. Okay, 1 minute. Oh, it's very unfortunate. It's not coming. Let me check what happened. Okay, fine. So the end result will be like this. See, a 12% bat will be accumulated to this, amount origin. This is now coming. This sales tax amount is coming as accumulated wise. So this is the concept that whenever we pay any amount and whenever we make any transactions after payment only, this will be coming to this report. So that's how basically this conditional sales tax work. The main concept of this conditional sales tax is this does not come into the first place. The reason is the country has their law. When the transaction, even the transaction, even happened in the dynamics 365 system or any ERP, that doesn't mean that that will be reported until that amount or any in that transaction has been paid by the organizations. So that is the concept of this conditional sales tax. However, we also need to see how this basically we need to configure. So the first thing what we need to check as a prerequisite, that we need to go to this general ledger, and we'll go to the general ledger parameters, and then we need to go to the sales tax, and this conditional sales tax needs to be enabled. Otherwise, if it is not enabled, this concept will not never work. This is the first prerequisite we need to have in the system. And the good thing is that this conditional sales tax is possible or available across the globe. I mean, it can be used in any countries like India, any of the countries in Europe. This can be used whenever it is required as per the government. And the first thing is that, and the other thing what we need to take care of, that the configuration, that is the main and important concept of the configuration, which is first we need to create the settlement periods. So for a normal sales tax, when this will be paid, that will be a monthly, and also we need to create a different settlement periods called monthly con. Otherwise we cannot maintain to keep a separate track of the conditional sales tax. We always need to create a monthly con or any name as separate conditional tax settlement period. And then we need to create item sales tax group as a separate conditional item sales tax group. Here, the reason we need to create this item sales tax group is basically we need to maintain that conditional sales tax code, which will be coming in the first place. That is one. And then the sales tax group. Whenever we have created the item sales tax group as a conditional one, then we need to create, or if we have our common sales tax group, we can add the sales tax code. So sales tax code is basically, this is the main concept, main or important thing is for the create a conditional sales tax code. So whenever we are approaching this functionality, we need to have two separate kind of sales tax code, which is a normal code. When that amount is paid or any transactions are paid, this sales tax code will come to the picture. However, when we are making the transaction, this conditional 12% sales tax code will be used. And on that sales tax code itself, we need to attach the exact, the correct sales tax code when it will be coming into the payment transactions. So now you can see I have created a first level of conditional sales tax code, and here I have attached this payment sales tax code. So what will happen, like in our transaction, firstly we have used this is conditional 12% sales tax code. And when the sales tax transactions are paid, the total sales tax value has been transferred to this amount, to this code. So if you see the posted sales tax, we can see today we have performed this activity in this session, and 10,714 has been posted in the sales tax code. However, we have never used this code at the time of transaction. It's just an automatic transaction. It will come into the sales tax code whenever we make any payment to these transactions. So let's see here. This is all about the sales tax code creation. However, we also need to keep a track of the ledger posting group, which is, if you are approaching towards this functionality, you always need to keep a different conditional sales ledger posting code. Otherwise, whenever we are having this transaction, the standard VAT, if we maintain the standard VAT, then this everything, whatever we are making a transaction, whatever we are making a payment, those will accumulate it to the same ledger code. Whenever we are having this conditional sales tax concept, we need to create a ledger posting group separately, and there we need to maintain this, ledger, create different set of ledger account. Then whenever we are making a transaction, firstly this ledger will be hit, and whenever we are making a payment, then those transaction will be coming here. And again we will see what basically we have done, and we can relate basically what the configuration we have done in this setup. Say I will go to this customer payment journal. I will click on post it. I will go to lines, and this one we have just recently paid. So if we go to this vouchers, we will only see bank and debtors. We won't see any sales tax. However, this is interesting that the automatic transaction has been posted towards the correct sales tax code. How this has happened? So if you see in our screen, we can have this related. We can see this related vouchers. If we click on it, we can see amount of 10,700 has been related with these transactions. So if we click on the voucher, we can see this has been offset with this 10,704. And if you click on posted sales tax, now if you see, this is the original offset entry has been created by system automatically. One we have created at the creation of transactions, and when we have paid this 12% VAT, has been posted automatically, and it has been nullified. So if we go again, make another entry just to see, just to align what basically we have seen. We will make suppose 700,000, and then we will select this. So now, if you have seen the configurations, then you can relate. Now we have selected this 12% conditional item sales tax group and sales tax groups all. The common code is coming here is conditional 12%. So what is happening in this conditional 12% code? We have already configured payment sales tax code as 12%. So what will happen? System already knows that this sales tax has their payment sales tax code 12%. So when we are making these transactions, is keeping a track that this sales tax will not be reported, because this has a conditional sales tax settlement, conditional sales tax payment code on that setup. So now if we see, if you go to this payment journal, I will select these transactions. I will select a bank so that. So now if I pay this, the expected result will be like our main sales tax code. Even if we are not selecting that sales tax group and item sales tax group, but system need to understand that the main sales tax code will come to the picture when we are paying this value. So when we what we will do, we will check the voucher, and if I click on this related voucher, 75,000 is a VAT amount. If I go to vouchers, so now I can see this money as is coming as a related voucher as sales tax, and it is basically offsetting in between. So if I click on posted sales tax, now I will see this main sales tax code is coming to the picture. So this conditional 12%, what when we have created the transaction, this was there. Now, because we are paying this and we have paid posted this transaction, system already knew, okay, whenever that these transactions, this sales tax 12% is having this transaction, whenever this will be settled with the payment, then this original sales tax code will come to the picture. Now, if I go to this sales tax code from the sales tax 12% VAT, even if we have not selected this VAT, this VAT will have the posted sales tax. See, 75,000. So this is how basically our organization can keep a track of it, and many countries in the world have this legislation from their government that the VAT will only be collected from the organizations when the payment is made towards the transactions. And if they want to see you know the report, they can always go back to this report and click on it, and they can see the transaction posted towards the main VAT, which is totaling to the 99,000. So previously it was 75, now it has, or 10,000, it has increased to 99,000, because we have now got the payment, and we need to, or the organization need to pay this value to the government. So basically that is a very I will say very interesting concept. And whenever you are working with European regions, you will definitely get this requirement. And Dynamics is a very amazing product that has basically been built solution for it. Not no code is required, you just need to take care of the some set of like conditional sales tax prerequisite, and some configurations like item sales tax group. We need to tweak that configuration so that this can be aligned with the accounting, finance department, and also the tax department, and the reporting will be always correct on that. So that's what I wanted to showcase. It's not a very big topic we wanted to showcase. I can give you 10 minutes I have for Q&A. If you have something, you can ask.
Thank you very much. Okay, Ramit. So that was actually quite timely, actually. So we don't actually overrun to the next session. So there are a few questions in the chat, actually. So happy to read them out for you. So let's go to the first question. So the first question is from Irina, who's asking, please explain what is the exchange rate used for VAT on the payment date for transactions in foreign currency. Does the system use the exchange rate from the invoice date in order to have the conditional VAT closed in accounting currency?
Sorry, I was talking in mute. Yeah, that's a very good question. Yeah, as per the requirement, when the payment has been made, that's definitely will take the currency from the payment date which has been used at the time of payment. So that's how it will work.
And Palav is asking, run the latest correction report version. You have already generated original report version. Okay, that was Palav asking, making a comment. So the next question is by Kawaja, who's asking, is the conditional sales tax acting as sales tax receivable?
No, it's still a sales tax payable, because when we are taking the money from the customer, then the original sales tax comes to the picture. Still we need to pay that sales tax to the government, so that's still a payable to company.
Thank you. Okay, so Rohit is asking, does this also pro prorate the sales tax on partial payment of the invoice?
Excellent question, I would say. I wanted to also share that, the partial payment. Yes, definitely. Say suppose 1,000 was a sales tax value at the time of first transactions, and partial payment received, and that has been covered with 500 sales tax. So on that case, only 500 will be reported to the government, less, and left 500 will be taken care in the next payment, or whenever that payment is made, then only this will come to the picture.
Okay, fantastic. So there's some great comments. Naveen has said this is a very nice concept. Thank you for explaining this. So yes, so I think what you've done there, Ramit, is you've actually, you've actually just explained this concept very well. That's helped people understand the process.
Thank you so much.
Um, that's great, and it was short and sweet actually, and very timely. We've still got 5 minutes, Ramit. Do you want to cover anything else or add any further elaboration?
Not really. I wanted to cover this in time, because previously I planned for sales order fixed free text invoices. I thought it will take more time, and our next amazing presenter will wait for me. So I thought of completing this in time, and I am really glad that people have understood. Even though I have not prepared for the general ledger, I prepared for the different places, but I think it has gone well.
Great stuff. So are there any other questions? We've still got Ramit for another 5 minutes. Do you have any other questions, guys? Okay, so that
Thank
looks
you.
like that's the end of your session, Ramit. So we will. So once again, thank you, Ramit, for being able to fill in during this period of time. And please feel free to share your contact details so that people can connect with you. And our next session will start in 5 minutes. And what I'll do is I will just share the agenda with everyone who is not fully familiar with the